Do you guys see this? Sansui was a well-known brand 20, 30 years ago, but they're not around anymore. They actually went bankrupt in 2014. So how are we seeing a Sansui monitor in 2024? Well, the reason being is because a Chinese/Hong Kong brand bought the rights to the name. So now they own the name, and they released this monitor, which I'm optimistic about. The model name is ESA-G27F6Q PRO. Now, the specs seem pretty beefy on here. It has a Quad HD 2560 by 1440 LED monitor, IPS screen, with a 240 Hz refresh rate. That's crazy. So here is the stand. There is some cable management here to make cables pass through there. And this can be put on just like so. And then it can be tightened underneath by rotating the screw. Now it's tightened. And then also back here it mentions angel wings, which can be lit up. And back here on the monitor, it can be VESA mounted, 100 by 100. You got most of your ports on the bottom, which are kind of a pain because they're on the bottom, so it makes it harder to see at nighttime or just in general. It's really annoying. But I do give this an exception, and I'll show you why. Because this can actually be rotated. Putting this monitor on the stand is very easy. Just make sure you put it on top of these two brackets, and then it goes in just like so, and now the monitor is ready to go. One of the big benefits of this being rotatable is that you can easily access your ports all on one side here instead of it being on the bottom, so you can easily see what to put where. So from the top, you got the USB 3.0B, a 3.5mm headphone jack. That's pretty rare to see these days. Two display ports, which are 1.4, and two HDMI ports, which are 2.1. Then there's the power outlet, where that goes, your power outlet. Then on the side, here are two USB 3.0 ports. This monitor is pretty thick, just to keep in mind. So, I mean, it is kind of heavy, actually. I was going to say it's not too heavy because I can still lift it with one hand. On the bottom right side behind the monitor is your power button and kind of a menu button to go up or down. It's kind of nice to have two separate ones instead of one. This can also be pressed on to probably select items. Back here, the LED lights are turned on, but it doesn't feel like it gets too bright. Now, I know there is daylight outside still, but even in the dark, I wasn't really noticing too much from the backdrop. And here's the menu. It's got a lot of options here, including dynamic luminous control, which is kind of interesting because it does change it a little bit in terms of coloring, and so does, obviously, the color temperature. Can change it to normal, user, or cool. So I'm just gonna keep it to normal for now, and you can change the picture quality along with a few other things here. And what's interesting that I never knew or realized was that there are speakers on here, and they get really loud too, which is interesting. It's tinny, but it works. And then here's some other stuff. And then also to get to crosshairs, we just click down and then some crosshairs show up. These are the options for all the crosshairs. It gives that like kind of premium look and just nice aesthetic overall here, because this is what my watching videos on here is pretty nice. Can be scaled all the way up to 4K, even though this is a 1440p monitor. The bezels are pretty thin overall. They're not too thick, and the color reproduction seems okay. It's nothing too crazy, but it's not bad either. It's just about average, or technically slightly average, if we're assuming the average brightness is about 300 nits, at least for laptops. That seemed to be the case at one point. So 320 nits, and color reproduction's pretty straightforward, so it's a decent panel overall. Reading articles on here and portrait mode is also pretty nice, and the thing that's even better about this is that this can be rotated quite a bit. So I can rotate this to the right and then to the left, up or down. And it's also going to go down to whatever eye level you want it to be at. Basically, the level of versatility is a huge plus here. The most important thing is gaming. And before I get to that, I do want to mention that I am running at 240 Hz, 1440p. Just wanted to check out how a 60 FPS game does here. And wow, I am noticing screen tearing. Now, I'm not sure if this is because, well, adaptive sync is on, so essentially it should have helped, but it seems like it did the opposite effect. Now, again, I'm not sure if this is because this is at 240 Hertz right now through the DP cable, DisplayPort cable, the 1.4 one that comes with it, and that's why I'm seeing some screen tearing. It's like just straight through the line. I'm not sure if you can tell there, but yeah, it's right there. I mean, not enough for it to be a deal breaker for me here. Alright, I changed the settings to 60 Hertz on Windows itself, and I'm still noticing screen tearing. It actually got worse when I changed the graphics settings and maxed it out, because it does look nice, but wow, look at that. It's just straight through the middle there. And so, I can see that being a deal breaker. But if I change the graphics to the lowest settings, I think I didn't really have a problem there. Nope, seems like I'm still noticing it here. So it's really unfortunate to see, because this had so much potential to be a great monitor. But you know what? The show must go on. Let's take a look at a game at 240 hertz and see how it does. Unfortunately, right now in this recording, I'm not able to get at 240 hertz. But man, everything was just super smooth. Even if it was just for a moment, it was incredible. But at the same time, there is screen tearing, so that is a deal breaker. I guess that's the give and take with maybe IPS, unless if I'm wrong, because TN panels can really offer higher refresh rates and everything, but you do risk having the color accuracy that you do here. So all in all, if you do have a PC that can handle this, then I'd say it's worth getting a monitor that has a 240 hertz refresh rate. But you want to make sure you know what you're getting into. This one has screen tearing. If you can overlook that, then I guess for the price it's not bad. Granted, I'm not exactly sure about the whole market here. I haven't really researched it thoroughly. So if you guys have any other recommendations, please do let me know. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I guess for 240 hertz at under 250, even with the screen tearing, maybe it's because it's a new experience to me. I like it, but not right now since I'm not getting that 240 hertz. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And leave a like if you did find this video helpful, and subscribe for more. As always, thanks for watching.